Good evening, my friends. I am doing something different today. We are going to do a tour of my garden. Now, is it a minimalist garden? You tell me. There are some minimalist aspects to it, but as you can see, it's kind of a large garden, I guess. Now, one thing I will show you first is you may notice that this, first of all, there's a lot of cars, there's teenagers, there's issues, but my garden is actually my front yard. It used to be in this side yard here, but there was a really big sunlight issue because, and I will show you the greenhouse after, we are on the side of a mountain there. So we actually, and we have a ton of trees. And I should add, I have my hair up to go to bed. This is the solstice night, summer solstice. It is about 8:16 p.m. The sun is still up, of course. And I'm in my pajamas, but I just wanted to take you on a tour of my beloved garden. Now, ignore my son's car over there, but we're gonna come in here and I'll give you a quick view. It's a little messy, I'm not gonna lie. I just took that row cover off and I'll show you why in a minute. But here we go. This is the quick overview. It has some minimalist qualities and I'll get to that in a minute. So right here we have the tomato bed, and tomatoes to me are just such a staple in the garden. I love them so much. And last year I grew them in the greenhouse, but it was a chore keeping them watered. And I actually just set up irrigation in the greenhouse that I will show you in a bit. But I do have this drip irrigation, drip tape lines, which make it so helpful. And I'm going to do sort of like a trellising thing that Jessica from Roots and Refuge does in her garden. But this is all of my tomatoes. Some of my favorites I love are Sun Gold tomatoes. They are delicious, sort of orangey tomatoes. They have such a sweet, sweet flavor. Unfortunately, tomatoes really aggravate my rosacea, but that's okay. I do eat them here and there anyway. But so I grow the Sun Gold. I have this one called Claire's Lawn Keeper, which will actually stay until January, believe it or not, in the house, like just in a cool spot, not even the fridge. Some kind of beefsteak, and then I've got a bunch of paste tomatoes. Right here we have my strawberry bed. Look at that, and there's Pancake the cat. This channel, you may not know, used to be a garden channel, and Pancake was always around when I was filming. Okay, so this has a ton of little strawberry runners coming off, and I am obsessed with the strawberry bed. These strawberries are so delicious and so amazing this year. Now, one of the things I love so much about my garden, and one of the reasons why I will say it is somewhat of a minimalist garden, is first of all, I did move it from the other part because it didn't get a lot of sun, which meant there was a lot more upkeep and a lot more struggle because the garden wasn't doing as well. And it's handy when your garden is doing well and you don't have to fight it too much. Unfortunately, there are a few moldy berries in here just because it was raining, but I have these delicious berries here that they're actually a really yummy white strawberry with red seeds, and they taste a lot like pineapple. I really, really like them. I think I'll do, yeah, I'm trying to decide what order to go in. So yeah, like the side yard was a challenge. It was just like there was just so much struggle. When you don't have enough sun, it's hard. And I barely have enough sun. As you can see, like right now, the sun is behind those trees. We're just always kind of dealing with the sun being behind trees or the mountain or something. And I'm not complaining, but it is something to contend with. This bed is a little different. This is my onion bed, and I absolutely am so excited. The onions are doing much better than last year, better than any other one. And I actually am using a method from a lovely lady named Crystal. She has a channel called The Seasonal. I can't remember. I'll put it on the screen. She's a real expert in growing. And I'm looking here, of course, there's some weeds I need to pull, but that's okay. I had to really get on top of some things I'll show you in a bit. And then this is the dill. Oh, I just love it. I can't wait. I'm really hoping to have a cucumber harvest. I'm not sure if I will. And over here is celery. Celery is a really fun crop to grow. This is some kind of squash. I can't remember. I don't always label my squash because I'm like, I'll know what it is when it comes up. And Pancake is laying on my stevia, but I'm not going to take him off now because I feel like it would just kind of damage it even more. Now over here is my cornfield. Now, I will mention that I started a few of these plants kind of late this year. And the corn might be one. I'm kind of new to growing corn. I've only grown it probably about 4 times. And this is another time when I have. But it looks like it's growing super well. The problem with our weather is May is usually beautiful. And June is often very rainy. And that is just what happened again. So here I've got some squash again. I'm trying to remember. I definitely have some pumpkins. Over there is a watermelon and then lots of corn. Some other squash. I'll know what they are when they start flowering and stuff. And then this also is stevia right there. This is a rose that I need to get in the ground pronto. Now, another reason why I will say, so like my channel is called Minimalist Home because I feel like I look at my hair, like it truly is like getting ready for bed. But it's more of a minimalist lifestyle. And because my home is so decluttered and it's messy. I mean, it truly is messy sometimes. Like, I think it's probably messy right now. Like it could use a tidy up, but that's the great thing is it's easy to do. So I can come out here. I was out here for hours today doing some stuff that I'll show you in a minute. And it was easy to just walk in and be like, oh, sure, like the house is a little messy. Everybody can just pick up their stuff, threw dinner in. Bob's your uncle. And then I came out here to do a garden tour. So anyway, this here is these are peas. And then under here is carrots. Now I do keep my carrots covered. There's some weeds. I gotta get to the weeds here, you guys. But I keep it covered, trying to keep the carrot rust fly out, but it usually just sort of minimizes the damage. I can't say I'm perfect at it. One of my very favorite crops that is a super minimalist, low maintenance crop is this garlic. I love growing garlic so much. I plant it in October. And then I just leave it alone. I leave it alone. It's so great. And then it puts up these beautiful scapes. Now I need to come out here tomorrow and harvest these scapes. I'm actually going to chop them up and freeze dry them. And then there'll be a delicious garlicky powder that I can add to things. Something else I should add is that I do tend to monoculture each bed for the most part. There might be a couple things like the peas with the carrots, but not too much. Now here we have some lettuce that has not bolted yet. I did have some spinach that did bolt. That's actually where that hole is. A couple of weeds. This one's about to flower, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that now because, you know, my big thing in life is like not creating more work for myself. And then I've got, I believe these ones are the zucchini, which is so exciting. And I even see they're starting to flower, so that's really fun. Now over here, this is one of those things where it was a bit of extra work because this white stuff you can see is called diatomaceous earth. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And my beans were just being eaten to death. You can see that it's just been a bit of a struggle. So I came out here today and just plopped some of that down. I have an idea. I think it's probably flea beetles doing it. And I have to say, with a garden this big that has 8 12 by 4 foot beds and then some smaller beds, it's actually pretty easy and not usually too many things are needing to be harvested at once. This here is all asparagus, okay? It's like a forest. And I said to my husband, we need to put these up just so that we can sort of like prop up the asparagus. I'm actually also going to put my rhubarb over here because it is just getting strangled where it is right now. So I'm going to put it in, it's going to be more of a perennial bed. And this is some cilantro, which has just gone to flower and it will seed soon, but I like to leave the flowers up because the bees love the flowers. Isn't it fun in here with this little dome? Again, by setting things like this up, it makes it easier for me because my very sad cucumber plants that are also in this bed, they can climb it if they end up taking off. But like I said, I was behind the 8-ball in a lot of this stuff. But look at us, we walk through here, through the asparagus. It's so fun. Now, this here is potatoes. Potatoes are a super duper delicious crop. I never ever thought I would be like, oh, potatoes are my favorite crop. They are definitely one of my favorite crops because garden fresh potatoes, like roasted, are just like heaven. And I've got some that I probably can harvest for dinner. Probably could have today, but I'm gonna be honest. We had tuna casserole because I was busy in the garden. Okay, a couple other things. Actually, we'll go this other way. Now this bed here, I should be covering up these brassicas because there's a cabbage moth that will fly and it will lay its babies and they will eat things. And so far they're actually looking pretty good, but I know I need to get in there. So, you know, the thing about the garden is it is work, but because I have set my life up that my house sort of takes care of itself a lot more than it used to, I have the time and the energy to come out in the garden. And truly, I garden for pleasure. For food, for sure. But mainly, it is just such a pleasure. I just love it. And there also are some volunteer strawberry plants. I don't know which strawberry plants these are, but they are the most delicious strawberries. There's one there. And then some kale. Now, this bed here is one that does not have irrigation, so I need to be mindful, but the plants in it must have deep roots, and there, again, are some volunteer strawberries. This one, some of them get a little bit yucky, and I will just take them off and throw them over there. When I was growing up, you let me know what it was like for you, but berries were expensive, and we just weren't exposed to them much. I remember going and visiting my family who lived on Vancouver Island. We didn't when I was growing up. And they had raspberry bushes in their yard. And I was just like obsessed with eating their raspberries. So we used to have raspberry bushes. We don't at the moment, maybe again, but we do have blueberries. And I just planted these blueberry plants. We have 6 of them planted. Not all of them got pollinated because I was away. It was kind of a weird year. This is more of a year of like setting things up. But it's just, I love berries. So I've got blueberries, I have got strawberries, and then over there are a bunch of wild blueberry bushes. They're actually an invasive blueberry. They're Himalayan blueberries. And these are a blueberry that came from the Himalayas. Somebody brought them over and they're all over, like the Pacific Northwest, but they are delicious. They are a problem though. Okay, so this area, again, so our front yard, I should explain, used to have really, really bad problems with irrigation, flooding. We could not, like in the winter, it would flood. In the summer, it was super dry. We couldn't grow grass to save our lives. So now what we have is just what we call the gray stuff. I should add, actually, that this slate was given to us by my grandparents. They had it at their old house and then they took it up and then gave it to us, and it took us forever to put it to use, like 5 years, but now we have. I'm so happy. Now I asked my husband to build these, and I have put some herbs that were in my front beds. They look terrible today because I just planted them after they sat not planted for days and days. I'm amazed that this sage looks better. It was a huge plant and I really just took it down. Rosemary, absolutely one of my favorites. This is Lithidora. It does not like to be transplanted. We'll see how it does. I honestly don't care. I just am one of the biggest fans of lavender. More rosemary, that's how much I love it. And then more of this, which I think is called cat's eye mint, and I'm not sure. Irrigation, biggest tip for a person who wants a more minimalist garden experience. And then I have this very sad looking banana tree. I'm told that the deer don't eat banana trees, but I can clearly see that they have. Also, maybe there's an irrigation issue. I'm not sure. It was raining here for a couple days, so I don't know. This furniture set, I actually got 70% off because there's some water damage, but it looks amazing. And this is the other set there. This area has looked terrible forever. So I actually took a lot of the plants out of there and put them in here. And then I just put these boxwoods in because I thought that will simplify my life so much better. Pancake absolutely loves to go and hide back there. My kids have to put the garbage containers away. Now, just a couple weeks ago, my husband decided he was going to replace this. Just start tearing it up. So I still need to stain it, or we do, but he's going to sand it and I might help him stain it because then we can put stuff back because we have other stuff in our garage. And then I've been playing with irrigation today. I haven't had a chance to put it away, but I really wanted to do this solstice tour for you. These are some brassicas and some lettuce. The lettuce has just started germinating. The brassicas germinated a couple of days ago. And then this bed is similar. I am actually pulling the rest of these plants out and just leaving the boxwoods. Now, I'm going to show you, the organization and everything. It takes time to get rid of this stuff. And I will be definitely getting rid. This is from my Harvest Right freeze dryer. Now I'm going to show you my messy but beloved greenhouse. So these boxwoods actually came, there's one on the other side too. This one is in great shape. The other one does not look good. The middle has something wrong with it. This one looks better, but it's just like such a pleasure to touch it. I just love it. In here is basically just peppers. And last year I had no irrigation set up. This year I do. So, sometimes minimalism, it takes a bit of a time investment up front and then it's just good to go. So I have this set up where in the morning, these are going to be watered. And I have mostly jalapenos and habaneros. This is basil. And you can see that's starting to flower. So I need to pull that off because they are desperately like, oh, it's hot. And then I've got some more cilantro here and some dill. And then I've just got some boxes ready for when I harvest. Same thing over here. Lots and lots of peppers. I just love that greenhouse. I waited like 10 years to get it. It has just made the biggest difference in my life. I have a heater there so that when it is like early spring, I can get my onions and everything started. Next year, I'm definitely starting sooner. This year, we were in Mexico in March. I've never been to Mexico, and we thought, let's go there. It was more affordable. And we went there, but it really put me behind. I got my celery started late. I got my peppers started late. Like everything got started late. It's fine. It's fine. Like I said, I really just love to have something that is somewhat streamlined, sort of takes care of itself. It still takes time, but it's such a pleasure to come out here and do stuff. But there are ways that you can make your day go smoother so that you can enjoy yourself and you can be more organized and save time. So check out that video here. Thank you for joining me on this solstice tour. It will probably be light out until about, it'll be light until after 11. So thank you. Stay tidy and mighty. I hope something great happens for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.